These skills are required not only by diplomats, people holding high offices, or in the cases of high stakes. Lack of this highly required skill has spoiled many relationships. They just don't open their mouths. It is the woman or wife who compensates for him. That means he is inarticulate, dumb. I'm V.R. Sampath, aka Sampath Ramanujan, a retired Indian Police Service officer, PhD in English Literature and MFA in Creative Writing and Consciousness, US. Come, subscribe to my Absurd Conversations channel. Click the buttons to like, share, and get notified. Comment and keep watching. Crucial conversations relating to the world. Crucial conversations is a phrase I have borrowed from the book of the same title by Joseph Grenny and others, a seminal work on conversations and relationships. The book says, I quote, "When stakes are high, opinions vary, and emotions start to run strong, casual conversations transform into crucial ones." Relating properly is one of the fundamental duties and responsibilities for a human. Talking and articulating are a few of the major indicators of the skill called relating. And through articulation and discussions, to resolve differences and issues, to ensure smooth relationships is not only a skill, but also an art only few people have mastered. These skills are required not only by diplomats, people holding high offices, or in the cases of high stakes, but also by ordinary people in their day-to-day life. Lack of this highly required skill has spoiled many relationships and has led to accumulation of grudge and baggage over a long period of time. When a contrary behavior is spotted or when a problem arises, it's best to address the issue ASAP and discuss skillfully to resolve it. Any time lag only worsens the matter. In my long innings of life, I found men are the worst offenders in this regard. They just don't open their mouths. It is the woman or wife who compensates for him. Unfortunately, she talks too much and many a time irrelevant. She also says right in the beginning in defense of her husband that he talks less. That means he is inarticulate, dumb. I have encountered many a man visiting us mostly under compulsion from his wife. While she is keen to cultivate and maintain relationships, the man left to himself would be a loner and stay away as much as possible. At best, he will hang around with some inconsequential group of people in a park bench. Here there is a gender rule which is inevitable. Man to man and woman to woman talk. While women keep yapping away, I have suffered the company of awkwardly silent men. I ask a question and he replies in monosyllables. Finally, I give up. To sum up, he did not seem to process what is happening around him or what is being said. In another instance, two guys with their wives come to our home purportedly to discuss a recent wedding they could not attend. As usual, the wives were making a lot of noise, while the two men who came together started chatting among themselves about matters I didn't know about. Nothing was spoken about the wedding they came to inquire about. I ended up watching them talk among themselves in my home. At least they spoke something. I consoled myself, if not to me. A few guys in the family had no skills of communicating verbally face to face. When you say something, they keep quiet or keep silence, and you mistake the silence for agreement. Until 2 days later, a letter or a mail arrives which would contain all arguments and counter-arguments to what you said a few days ago. By that time, you would have moved on. They needed time for their brains to process the whole thing and come up with written responses which are nothing but afterthoughts. The moment had since passed. I don't reply such letters or mails. Many people talk comparatively properly one-on-one. The moment a third person comes into the picture, there will be a complete change in attitude. You will be left wondering as to what changed. They don't want to appear as friendly as before in the presence of the third person for whatever reason. These men come with an insurance. Women, they shield them, mainly because dumb men suit their purposes otherwise. For instance, I got tired of sitting idle with a man who was not articulate, and finally asked him to communicate and articulate something to make the conversation lively. He felt offended and sunk back into himself further. After they left, my wife came at me with vengeance. Do you have to advise him like that? Well, that man came with a double whammy: protection from his wife and mine. I lay alone, injured and abandoned, licking my wounds. The psychology which works here is the fear that holding a crucial conversation may worsen the situation by asking or pointing out. This fear extends to unimaginable proportions. People dislike having crucial conversations. They shun people who tend to have such conversations. On the other hand, people consider those who want crucial conversations as talkative or even troublemakers. Above all, they consider the poor chap as quarrelsome. If a wrong word slips out, they hang on to that word and not the spirit of the entire conversation. Many people ghost those who want crucial conversations as someone not touchable with a long pole. They would rather keep quiet, do nothing, allow lack time to accumulate, turn the issue into a big burden, and carry it on their backs their entire lifetime. It only means the burden affects their conscious, subconscious, and their bodies. It's been proven that chronic illness, lowering of immunity, and other consequences ensue unknowingly. I have seen young people suffering intensely for real or imaginary reasons have had their hair turn white within a short time. These are physical consequences of improperly relating to people and circumstances. Who wants to relate properly to others and the world and make it a better place to live in? Practically none. Reason? The present day world has a big void for three things. One is acceptance, the second is agreement, and the third is approval. These voids are bigger than the thirst for money. Everything contrary is treated as opposition, enmity, and hostility. How could one possibly have crucial conversations in this scenario? Those in power, position, and money fill this void as quickly as possible, at any cost. Appeasement, yes-manship, chamchagiri, patronizing all start here, resulting in connection and corruption. If the top boss wants agreement, the middle level gives it to him in toto in a servile way. In turn, it extracts the agreement from the lower rung, and the chain goes on. Thus, you will find it impossible to find a man free enough not to seek agreement, approval, and acceptance, and bold enough to say what he thinks is right. The deepest urge in human nature is the desire to feel important, said John Dewey, and getting others' obedience makes you feel important. How to break this vicious circle is the question. Keep trying. Revolutionizing human condition has never been easy. Best of luck. Thank you.